Moin Moin, schön, dass ihr da seid. Ich freue mich ganz besonders auf das nun folgende, denn bei mir zu Gast sind Sarah und Brian von Firaxis und ihr ahnt es, sie haben natürlich Civilization 6 im Gepäck. Yay! Yay! Hi guys.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Yeah, such a pleasure that you're here, and you brought one of my favorite games. Game series.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played the sixth part, obviously, but I'm really looking forward seeing what you guys brought me. We don't have the game here, but we have a video showing the game, and then we can talk over it and about the new features and yeah.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yay.
So yeah, the first video we're gonna show you guys is from the early game.
Yes, early game as Germany.
Yeah, round one is. Did you do it for Gamescom that you recorded the game with Germany, or is it your favorite nation to play?
You know, that might be a slight coincidence.
Might be.
Maybe.
Yeah, who knows? Who was it, Bismarck or who?
Barbarossa.
Barbarossa?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a new character.
Uh-huh, Frederick Barbarossa.
What is he famous for? I know, but...
I'm so bad with his history. I feel really bad about this.
Yeah.
The Holy Roman Empire. So I know that he was a bit of a spreader of religion and.
Was in this time. It was.
Yes.
It was religion and.
Yeah.
And the kings.
A little bit of combat.
Yeah, it was a fun story back in those days. So okay, I'm gonna start the video. And
excellent.
We're just gonna talk about it. Sweet. Did I already start the video? I tried to just hit the space bar. Is it running? Yeah, it's running.
Cool.
Because there I can see them. So okay, the first thing that jumps into my eye is the fog is different. It's a map now.
I know, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that was one of the things when we were early on in production. We had a lot of discussion about the theme of the game because Civ 5 was the Art Deco theme. And I love Art Deco, it's beautiful, but we wanted to try something different with this. So when we started throwing around ideas, exploration's a big thing in Civilization. Yeah. So we started to gravitate towards this Age of Exploration theme. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of influence of old parchment maps, navigational instruments, compasses. So you'll see little bits and pieces of that in the UI, but it also translates to the Fog of War.
Yeah.
Too. So we have this hand-drawn look to all the areas that you've visited but don't currently have a unit looking at.
Yeah. So the first thing, or the first was the fog, but the second thing I see is the city. The first city is it's Aachen, which is very interesting because Aachen was like the capital back in the days. It was where the king went to, where he lived. Yeah. Basically, but nowadays it would be Berlin, of course. But this is historically right. Yeah. So I enjoy that. The third thing is, and I read about it because it's a controversial topic. The graphic. Many people say it's very comic-esque. You know what I mean? Like a little bit more Civilization Revolution, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we've looked at a lot of our old catalog, like all the Civs throughout, and I've been on every Civ since Civ 4, and I also worked on Civ Revolution. But what we wanted to, when we started out, we wanted to define the style based on the design. We coordinated a lot of this effort with design. And the more we talked about it, we tried some realistic approaches. We tried some, varying degrees of stylization. And the big focus was clarity. We wanted to make sure, as you can see here from a distance, as you start to fill the map, you start to get districts and you get your specialty buildings in those districts, it can get a little crowded. So we wanted from a distance to be able to tell, like, that's a campus, it has a library, and it has a university. So it's very important not to have to zoom in to see everything. You want a more strategic view. And it also allows us to have a little bit more fun with the animations. So it really pushes the personality of the leaders. Because in Civ 5, it was a little more realistic, but, you couldn't push their performances that much. There's certain exceptions. But for the most part, the difference between angry and neutral was pretty subtle.
When we were picking our leaders, we really wanted big personalities, these, not necessarily the first person you would think of for civilization in history, but someone who has a unique story to tell, someone who can really stand on their own, and someone who's larger than life. And I think that really comes through with our animation. They're gorgeous, and it shows you what their play style is like.
Okay, that's interesting. So is Gandhi still the evil guy, or did you fix that?
We're not talking about any more civilizations.
Okay. Yeah, I already liked that in the Civilization 5, especially how many times have I visited the Austrian Queen, and she always says, "Wie ich sehr bewundert Sie meine neuen Damast." She's such a snob. Okay, that is, who is it? Victoria
Queen of the
United Kingdom. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I love her.
There's so much more personality now. We have some amazing animators and modelers, and I feel they've really outdone themselves in this game.
So there's so many things I want to talk about. So let's talk about the leaders now. Okay. We're here.
Great.
What I always I missed some diplomatic depth sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that in certain situations there was no way to get out in a way. Right. You know what I mean? My opportunities, my options of interacting or of telling him what I want from him or what he's supposed to do, to reach a diplomatic agreement, were sometimes a little bit short. Mm-hmm. So did you add any features?
So the diplomacy system in Civilization 6 is very interesting. Every leader has an agenda, and you know that based on their history. That's straightforward, and you know it right away. And that's going to dictate how they play the game. So that gives you an idea of what they want from you and how they want you to play the game. Mm-hmm. So it gives you a familiarity there. But we've also got these hidden agendas, and you need to find that out through being their friend, or spies. And so it's added another layer to things, really.
So do you have... you already mentioned Barbarossa. Now it's Queen Victoria, not Queen Elizabeth, who was like the former leader. Yeah. Do you have all sorts of different leaders now, or is it just a coincidence that we saw two now?
Go ahead.
You'll see some old favorites. When we were coming up with the list of leaders, we wanted to bring back some leaders that we haven't used in a while. We wanted to bring back some standard leaders, and we wanted to create some brand new leaders. That was an important balance to make when coming up with the new design.
Okay. Yeah. So you, in the last part, you had a lot of exotic leaders. I mean, like Native Americans, a lot of South American Aztecs.
Right.
Aztecs.
Yep.
Is there more of that?
I mean, Civilization, it's always been a very global game. We want to bring people from all over the world. We just announced Tamiris of Scythia, and that was a big shock, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah? Why?
I noticed there was like a Google graph going around where you could see like the spike in people Googling who Scythia is.
Okay. But that is so cool because I grew up with Civilization. It's one of my favorite games. And I learned so much about history. And not only that I learned it, but it interested me, like I saw something and I was eager to learn more about this person or this country, and this is or the Seven Wonders. I learned so much about the Seven Wonders just because of Civilization, and not because some teacher wanted me to learn it. And so this is the encyclopedia behind it, all the facts that you have and this in your Wikipedia. I love that so much about this game. So okay, let me have a look because I have seen something, but I have not seen everything.
What are you looking for?
So one feature I read about it, I don't know if we see it later on, is that you have an army, but you can like meld two armies together now.
The combined arms.
Yeah. So how does that work?
So there's different levels to the combined arms. You can escort civilian units with military units by linking them together. You can do support units with certain military units and make them more powerful, or you can combine 2 or 3 of the same type of military unit into a core or army.
Okay, so it's a little bit of stacking comeback, yeah?
Yeah.
But it's limited to 3 units. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's the same type. You can still have varying degrees of units. Like you can escort a settler or a civilian with a military unit.
yeah, that's
well.
that's a good
So
thing.
helpful.
Yeah, yeah. I hated that so much when I just go there and then it's gone.
Yep.
That's a very good thing, and I think it's strategically it's something new because now you don't have to you know if there was a hill, a mountain or something like that,
Yeah.
you can put a unit on it and defend it quite easily. But now if the enemy has stacked pile,
Right.
it's more different, so it's more strategic, it's more complex. I like that.
Yeah, the military system, it's changed a lot from Civilization 5. One of my favorite parts is just the fact that we have unstacked the cities as well, and you've got these
Yeah.
districts around your city. So it's not just the city center that you're going after. You know, you can hit these districts too and really send someone back in their science.
Yeah, so you lure them out.
Yeah, that
yeah,
too.
It's not, yeah. I mean, you could just wait in the city. Then you have the bombing of the city. Then you have an artillery unit, something like that, and you could. From the comfort behind the walls of your city, you could just fight, you know. But now it's more to get someone out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you have to
Okay.
be much more selective about how you're guarding your city if you leave it too open. I mean, if somebody comes through and pillages it, you can repair it, but that's going to take turns. It's going
Right.
to take time.
Right.
So you mentioned districts. This is a brand new feature. So can we talk about districts?
Yeah, absolutely. So in Civilization 5, we had all of those buildings, and they were all in the city center. We've taken those and we've put them into districts. These are specialized, like science, faith, in the campus and holy site, respectively. So it makes every single tile around your city center that much more important. I think we're about to place a campus here. So additionally, you're going to be balancing that with your wonders, because they take up a full tile, and your improvements as
Okay,
well as...
so you can't. This is something that I prefer to do. I like to spam wonders, not only because they add a bonus to your civilization, but because I like this mad idea that my city is full of wonders and everybody wants to come to my visit. Everybody wants to come and visit my city. This is something that I always was when someone built a wonder that I was already constructing. I was very mad.
Yeah.
But
you
now,
like our great people system too.
yeah, okay. Let's talk about that in a second. But now for every wonder you need a new tile. So how many tiles do you have as a city in 5 Civilization 5? It was like 3
Yeah, go
steps
3
you
out.
could go.
Yes.
That was the influence area of the city.
Yep.
Is it the same?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to be very careful what kind of wonder you choose, and maybe you think that you spread the wonders more. Not only one city with all the wonders, but like 10 cities, 10 wonders.
Well, I mean, you have to be more selective. Wonder's more powerful, but you have to really decide how much I want that wheat if it's in a prime
Right.
location, especially because of the requirements of some of the placements of wonders. Some wonders have to be next to a specific district
That's true
or
too.
resource
Yeah.
in the game. So you kind of got to juggle around things as you get later in the game and the map starts to fill up.
Okay. So the road construction that changed as well, right?
Yes. I love this system.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so cool. I mean, you send your trader out, and he's going on his trade routes to the other cities, and a road just follows him. And it's like how it was in history. That's how the first roads came to be. It was just where people walked.
That makes sense. You don't have to pay anymore for the roads, right?
Right. Comes
Yeah.
with the trader.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you can't influence where the road leads. It's like they do it automatically. You can't influence how.
Between the cities.
Yeah, between the cities.
Yeah.
Now you do have there is the exception. You have a military engineer later in the game that can build roads.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, because sometimes if you're not that I would ever do that, but if you're planning for an attack, sometimes
Right.
it makes sense to construct a road to the border. Just to get your
You
troops
just
there.
start a trade route for a little while and get some gold. and
Hey,
then-
it's just. Are you planning one? No, it's just a trade route. Just a trade route. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind. Okay, now Aachen, our beautiful city, has grown to 2 people, and
I think it's restarted a couple of times.
Yeah, it's Yeah, it looks. Yeah, you're right.
We're
It
back
looks.
to the beginning now, the early game.
What did they do? The movie started again.
Yes.
We have a couple, two to be precise, videos. Can we please go out of the?
Yeah, once we
okay.
get the mid game, that'll be cool.
Yeah. So let's start. Somebody. So. Oh no!
Should we
oh
tell
no.
stories while you're
please.
doing this?
You can tell me whatever you want. So, but mid game. Okay, so this is the right video.
Yeah,
this
cool.
is
There we go.
Barbarossa.
Look at him. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, he
that's
has
how I
such a
imagined him.
majestic beard.
Yes, he's the inventor of the beard.
Is that true?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I learned
yeah,
something
beards
today.
were invented
Yeah.
in Germany by King Barbarossa. This is why he became king.
We created the hair system just for him.
Yeah. Quite, your beard is 0.7 on the scale of the Barbarossa beard.
Absolutely. Nobody can compete with Barbarossa.
No,
True.
that's impossible.
Great.
So, this is later on. We have 6 citizens already, and we see some buildings. What is this? Is it the temple?
So yeah, that's a
The
holy
holy
site,
temple?
and it has a shrine and a temple. And the Hansa that he just plopped down, that is Germany's specific industrial site.
The Hansa.
Yeah,
Okay.
they are quite a powerhouse with production.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Germany's benefits. In addition to an extra military policy, they get the Hansa, and production's crazy.
So what year is it? There is the skyscrapers,
Looks industrial.
but it's only 6 people living in Aachen. But it looks like it's like the 20th
It's a
century.
nice small town. That was Ruhr Valley, though. That's a cool wonder. I love the Wonder movies too. Just bringing that back from Civilization 4.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a
But,
lot of people were disappointed that we took the Wonder movies out from Civ 4.
Yeah.
In Civ 5, we had the paintings. They're beautiful paintings, but
Yeah, I
they
know.
wanted the movies back. So
Right.
we wanted to do it real time in the game. So it was really cool. We got the time of day system in there specifically for the Wonders.
Yeah.
But it also turned out to be something neat to have when we're playing the game too. There's going to be an option you can keep cycling through day and night.
Okay.
If you like that. Or if you prefer, you like sunset.
Yeah.
You set at sunset.
Every
by the-
day is sunset day.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the AI, because this is a very crucial point, I think. At least if you're playing local, just for yourself,
Right,
not
right.
on the internet. Because it's a totally different game if you play it with human beings. But I prefer to play against the AI. Just because the guys out there are nerds, and they when you play a team game and you do something different than they want you to do, then they spam you with noob, go
Aw.
away, and I don't. I don't like that. If I want to build a library, then I build a library. But those
Right.
guys are like, no, you can't build the library. You have to build that first, and then that, and then they're so like esports.
But you know what? With Civilization 6, I don't think there's going to be those routines that people have, because the map is so important and everything around your city center changes with every new game. There isn't one set strategy to get to the end now.
That's a good thing. Okay.
Yeah, it really
Yeah,
mixed it up.
So back to the AI. A typical game that I play is I build my my nation,
Right.
and I build it on freedom and liberty.
Good.
So and I don't build much army at the beginning, and I'm not very aggressive.
Right.
I just play my game. I try to build cities to grow, just to build more cities and make my country bigger. And then
Expansionist, yeah.
expansions. And then it's always a question of time that my neighbor starts to be pissed because he thinks this is his
Right,
land,
yeah.
and I think
That
no,
can happen.
it's obviously there was no one there, so I claimed the land, and then what he always does is he attacks me. If I don't have a huge army, if I have a huge army, of course he's afraid, but then he's mean in other ways. But I don't have a huge army at the beginning because it costs a lot of money, and
Right.
I need this money for other purposes. So he attacks me, and then there's the first crucial point with the AI, because the way they fight was very poorly, because you don't have to be a strategic master to beat the AI when it comes to
Right.
to the micromanagement of the units, because they just run and then they don't say, okay, this is the hill, I put my arrows there and then I charge blah, or maybe I come from the backside or something like that. You know, they're not very smart in this, and so it's very easy to beat them.
Right.
So did you change anything?
It's always a challenge to make a computer play like a human. Like one day, perhaps, we will get to the point where you never know exactly what they're going to do. But yeah, we're playing the game every day, we're balancing it, and just trying to make that experience as organic and real as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, the agendas from the leaders have certainly added a lot to it, because now you can kind of expect a certain gameplay or out of the AI, and aside from the hidden agendas. But that's why it's important for diplomacy. You have to kind of get to know the leader, because even if you upset them at one thing, like if you're, allies with Qin Shi Han and you built to make wonders, there's some things that can offset that still.
Yeah, that's true. There's also, I know we're not talking about barbarians right now, but
you can't talk about barbarians.
I can't?
You can.
Oh, I can?
Yeah,
thank you.
If you're free, please.
There's this barbarian system that I love.
But I will come back to the AI.
Well, barbarians are AI as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so there's this system where they will send scouts out to your city, and if you see a barbarian scout and it disappears back into the fog, you're going to have a raiding party soon.
Yeah,
and I love that system. It's so cool, and it feels so organic and real.
Can you capture the scout unit?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're fast, but...
So I turn the pages.
Yeah.
Now you can come back and get your scout, loser. But you talked about the hidden agendas and stuff. This strategic part, I think it's the one step above the thing I was talking about. I was talking about the battle.
Right.
Like to make it more a challenge.
Yeah.
Because the AI knows how to use the terrain, how to use the units, because there's... Most of the time when the AI attacks me, they don't even have catapults.
Right.
To destroy the city, to make it ready to be stormed for the infantry. So this is something that you could... We've
been playing a lot with the military AI lately, and there's always balance reports coming in, and our AI programmer is awesome, and I'm really excited. It's come together. Very fun.
Okay.
Yeah, he's done a great job of making it seem like you're playing against a human now.
They're making intelligent decisions.
Yeah. They're going to be bringing catapults if they want to take your city. So if you have walls, they have to.
You look so excited that your city is about to be taken by a catapult.
I'm so happy. I really love Civilization, and I'm very excited about. It's like every new part is like, oh, what was it? How was it going to be? Let's talk about the features that in the last Civilizations, it was always like the add-ons completed the game. Like the game came, and then after the second add-on, basically the game was complete, and it felt like this is a perfect game. And you felt at the start that something was missing. That it comes later. And what is it like in Civilization 6? Are the features that you have in 5 are already included, like religion, like spies and whatnot? Yeah,
we took a lot of what Civilization 5 and expansions had, and that was our foundation that we built off of. Yes, religion, yes, spies. There's a lot of game here.
Yeah, the design behind Gods and Kings, where a lot of the stuff was introduced, are the same people designing Civ 6. So it was important that we had all that in from the beginning.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It's such a big game.
It is. And this is, I don't want to be slimy. That's what, I don't know if this is a word you can use in English, but in Germany it means the ground becomes slippery because you try to impress the guy you're talking to. I don't want to be that way, but I would gladly pay more for a game like Civilization, because there's a game you play it like 10 hours and then it's over. It could be a great game, but it's over then. But Civilization is a game you can play it every day for like 10 hours, and you always see something new, and you always have fun. And when it comes to minute or money or per minute, you know what I mean? This is like the best product you can buy, and I would gladly pay more money than for other games. And so, I mean, you can include all this stuff.
Right.
And I give you my money. I don't need the add-ons because I want the finished product. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, what you're saying about people playing so many hours, especially with Civilization 6, like, and how the map affects everything so much, and it changes every time. The replayability of this game, it impresses me every day.
Yeah. It does. I have some questions written down just to make sure I don't forget anything. We talked about the diplomacy system, right? Or can you add something more to the diplomacy, because we just scratched it, you know?
Well, I mean, we have a lot more. Well, I can speak from the art end.
Yeah.
We have a lot more animations now, so there's a lot more acting.
Okay. This is graphics, but is there more like features, more options to, like, you know, if you're really evil but you're very smart, then that you can manipulate them in a way that is more complex than before, like, or you can make deals like, hey, if you attack the guy that I don't like, I give you this and that, but you do it in 10 rounds, and then you can make a deal with the other person to do the same thing. You know what I mean? More definite. Yeah.
Well, knowing everybody's agenda helps with that quite a bit. Qin Shi Huang likes wonders. And if you share a continent with him and you build more wonders in him, he's going to start to be upset. But if you also share that continent with Teddy,
Roosevelt.
He does not like people messing with people on his continent. So by building more wonders and Qin attacking you, he's all of a sudden going to have a problem with him.
Yeah, you're baiting Teddy.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's important to know the leaders.
Yeah, you can really play them off of each other, which
That's
is
interesting.
cool.
Okay, that's very cool. So you have to see who is on my continent, who are my neighbors, and then you have to figure out your strategy.
Yeah.
Okay, I like
absolutely.
that.
I've never tried that strategy, but you mentioned that today.
Yeah, you should try.
Man, that's my next goal.
Resources. Let's talk about resources.
Okay.
Are there any new resources?
Gypsum. Is that new? Have we ever had gypsum before?
There's so many resources, it's hard to keep track of.
I know. Our resource list is insane.
Yeah, we have...
There were a lot of resources in 5 already. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to come up with new elements.
Yeah,
Something that does not exist. But yeah.
Yeah,
okay, I see. It's
neat.
nothing outstanding that comes to your mind. So okay, that's fine.
Nothing comes right away, no.
Right.
One important thing is modding. So how is the support for the modding community?
We're going to be talking more about that later on in the campaign, but we are supporting modding.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, whenever we talk about a feature, modding comes up quite a bit.
Yeah.
We love our modding community. We want to make sure they have access to a lot of that stuff. So it's definitely a priority for us.
Cool.
It'll be fun to see what people make.
We do have something about religion.
Yes.
Let's see that.
We just started talking about that today. So.
It's not so easy to use this machine. It's a very complex machine. It was built. Wait, so maybe now? No.
Yeah, no. There's Barbarossa and his great beard.
You know what? So.
Just start fresh.
Yeah.
Reboot. Turn it off. Turn it back on. Hey, there we go.
So. Okay, this is our beautiful city of Aachen again.
Yes.
And let's talk about religion.
All right. So, first of all, the religion victory. This is brand new. We've never done this in Civilization before. But with the success of the religion system in Gods and Kings, it was a natural next step to just add this new religion, this new victory, because we do support multiple victories, and that's one of the fun things about Civilization and having a new perspective.
Okay, so how does it work? It's like I would think that you choose a religion, and then if a certain amount of people in the world take your religion as theirs, that you can win that way?
The majority of every other civilization, not city-states, but civilization.
So 51% of every civilization needs to. So okay, and are the numbers of religions still limited, so that you have to be fast to create your own?
Yes, there's only so many, depending on how many players you have on the map. So you could run out of great people in order to make a religion or go for religious victory.
Yeah.
There's still advantages, even if you aren't going for religious victory, to having religion, you can purchase things through faith still, and so there's plenty of bonuses that'll support whatever kind of victory you're going after.
Right. Yeah, and people will spread religion to your cities even if you may not have started your own. And you can actually get their benefits too, just from being a follower of their religion.
But sometimes it's very annoying. I had this guy, this Dutch guy, who was like, he had 3 cities left because I surrounded him, and then he could do nothing because he was weak, and then he sent his prophets all the time. He was spamming prophets.
It sounds like you really set yourself up for that, though.
Yeah, and I went to him and I asked him, and I was very glad that I could do that, because this is like what I'm talking about, diplomacy in depth. You know, I told him, don't send your missionaries. I don't like that. And he said, fuck off. and the only choice I had was declare war on him. You know what I mean? And that was not okay. But okay, that's a different story. So another way. So we have science, we have culture, we have war, of course, we have diplomacy, and now we have religion.
Yes.
So 5.
No diplomacy.
No diplomacy?
No.
But it was 5, right?
It was.
So you took out diplomacy? Why did you do that?
Well, we didn't take out diplomacy, the diplomatic victory.
But it's not in the game. You can win. Like in order to win, you had to be very popular in Congress.
Yeah, the World Congress.
Yeah, you had all the city-states. You had to bribe the city-states to vote for you.
Diplomacy is still going to be very important.
But you can't win it. Okay.
Yes.
So maybe
it will definitely help you win.
Okay. Yeah. So city-states. Is there any difference?
Oh man. I'm a huge fan of the city-state system. I never actually played with it much in Civilization 5. It was kind of a tertiary thing that I ignored.
They are very important. If you have the city-states on your side, they give you all the resources, they make your people happy. You just took them over?
I was a bit of an expansionist.
Okay.
Not as peaceful as you.
Yeah.
But now we've got these 6 different types of city-states, and they've all got their different specialty. You know, we've got trade city-states that'll help you with your economy, culture, so on. And you get special bonuses by sending them envoys, which you can earn through government social policies and the civics tree. But the cool thing is the suzerain bonus. When you have sent 3 envoys minimum to a city-state, but you have the most out of any other civilization, you are their best friend now, and you get a very special, unique individual bonus to that city-state.
Okay.
And they're super powerful.
Yeah. They're much more powerful than they were in 5.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I care about them so much. I will not...
Now you care about them.
I know. I will not kill city-states anymore.
Okay. I've never killed city-states. It's not in me. I can't do. Okay, so that's an interesting feature as well.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I don't know yet that you like to talk about? Any maybe only slight changes you made, but that have a great impact?
Builders, traders, unstacking the cities. Oh, have we talked about active research?
No.
The tech boosts?
No, we haven't yet. Tell me about that.
That is huge. A lot of people in Civ 5, I'm not saying they had the ideal way to go through the tech tree, but you could argue there was a better way than most. But now with the active research, the environment and your actions in the game influence the way you go through the tech or the civics tree. Yeah. For example, if you build a city on the coast, you get a boost to sailing. It's only going to take you half the time to get to sailing as somebody that was landlocked.
Right.
Yeah.
And each of the technologies and civics have one of those things that you can boost it and research it earlier. So you're going to be more tempted to try to get out of your standard method of gameplay.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's very interesting.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it makes the game more complex.
It does.
And you have more choices to make, and that makes every game more unique, and that's a good thing, I guess.
Back to that replayability. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to see what kind of resources you have on your hand when you start the game, and then you choose what's the best way to go through the tech tree.
Right.
And you have to adapt don't have a strategy when you enter the game. You have to make the strategy while you're playing.
Right. Yeah.
So I like that a lot.
Yeah, you really have to react to everything that's changing around you too. So.
Okay. So is there anything different about the multiplayer? I personally did not play it much because I think, as I mentioned, people who are playing online in Civ are such pros that it's frustrating to a guy like me. But on the other hand, a game of Civ is so long that it's hard to play the same game with the same people that you don't know, and so for me it's like more an AI game. So is there any changes in the multiplayer?
I mean, we know that there are players who want the big, long experience. They want the several nights in a row of playing Civ, or several weeks in a row.
Yeah.
But there are players who want to, get home after work, spend an hour or two playing Civ with friends, and someone's won. And we want to make sure that everyone's happy.
So there is an option to play a quick game and more.
Yeah, we do have we have different game speeds. I think the online speed is brand new.
Yes. Well, we're also, still, we want there to be some versions you can play within an hour. So there might be a certain goals that you can meet, and whoever meets those goals first would win. So we'll have smaller, less time commit.
Yeah, more like
games.
A board game than
bite-sized chunks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll still be the game, but it'll be the scope will be a little bit more limited to keep the speed going quickly.
That's maybe a good idea to get my friends into the game.
Yeah.
Because every time you guys have a sale on Steam, I write a message to all my friends. Now you have no excuse not to buy the game. And by now everyone has the game, but no one has the time to play. And I try to convince them it's such a great game, but they because it's so complex.
Is that how your friends sound?
Yes, they do, because it's such a complex game, and I think they fear the complexity a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's very important in our tutorials. We're putting a lot of effort into making sure that the game's easy to understand. Because once you understand the basics of the game, it's really not that complex. Like I know, because when I started Civ 4, I had a little bit of trouble, but I had people around me to help me, and it's like within an hour or so, a couple of days later, I got it. I understood it. So that's very important that we can bring new players in, but still, retain our current, fan base.
Yeah.
Something that's familiar to them still.
Okay. So when is it going to be available?
October 21st.
October 21st. When is it going to be available to me?
How much money are you willing to pay?
Wait. What do I have? This is all I have, like $10.
I don't know.
This is worth a lot. Like this is like $1 million.
Yeah.
After Trump's election, it's like
one plushie today.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I know. So then I have to wait, like everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yes, I'm very excited. You have no idea. I'm really very excited.
Yeah. Me too.
One last word. Maybe. What kind of system do I need? Is it like high-end PC or? So
we're still locking down our specs right now, but we know we've got a very broad range of players, so we're keeping that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes in the late game, sometimes every round took very long to, process.
Yeah.
And so is this any different? So is it
right now? We're still optimizing and doing the.
I know that. Why do I even ask? You can't say anything. I know. So thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, thank you
for this quick presentation of one of my favorite games of all times.
Awesome.
And das war Civilization 6. Ich hoffe, ihr habt vielleicht ein paar Infos irgendwie bekommen, die ihr noch nicht hattet. Vielen Dank fürs Zusehen. Ich freue mich sehr. Das war doch toll. Tschüss.